discuss about iterative constructs, which is also known as loop. So first we will try to know what is the iteration, types of looping statements, entry control loop, exit control loop, and various looping statements, and also the jump statements. Okay. Sometimes we need to execute a set of statements repeatedly. So for that particular time, we can use this concept, the looping concept. Okay. So when some statements will be continuously or repeatedly executed until the condition is being satisfied, it is known as loop. Okay, so if we are taking an example of multiplication table, we can see that we have to do the same task multiple times. So we can achieve the multiplication table in our programming by using loop very easily. Okay, now we can broadly categorize this loop into two categories: entry control loop and exit control loop. Okay, so entry control loop, where we will learn the for loop and the while loop, where in the exit control loop we will learn the do while loop. Okay, so let's start learning the loop. So now I'm going to create a new class which is a intro of loop, and I'm dragging it here. So I'm deleting all the dummy code from here, and I'm just creating another class which is known as intro of loop. Okay, now here I'll write the basic main function, and here what I'm going to do, if I'm telling you to write your name, sorry, just 1 minute. Okay, so if I'm telling you to write your name maybe 10 times, what you will do, you may copy and paste it 10 times. Okay, or maybe the time you want, but this is not the right solutions for you, because if I'm asking you to do the same task for a million times, it will be a little bit headache for you. Am I right? So what I'll do here, I'll take a help of the loop. So before starting loop, I want to say something to you. To write or to create a loop, you need a variable which is known as also a control variable. Secondly, you need to make a condition, which is the second part of a loop. And third thing, the step value. That means each time of looping, do you want to increase the variable, that means control variable, or you want to decrease the control variable. Okay, and the fourth item will be the body of loop, where I'll write the statements. Okay, so here I'll write the for keyword, and there I need to have to give this first bracket as a parenthesis, and this is the I am using the curly braces to make the block of the loop. So here inside the for loop, I have to write the control variable. So I'm just assigning a control variable I equal to 1, and now I'll make the condition. So I'll make the condition I less than, maybe here I'll print integer target. Okay, so I would like to run it for the target, and here I'll write I plus plus. So every time the loop will be executed, I will be incremented by 1, and here I'll write the same line. So I've just copied that line previously and I pasted it here. Okay, now if I'm closing this one and I'm writing it here, maybe I'm giving a target of 50, you can see 50 times your name will be printed. Okay, now here it will come 51 because by default I have gave 1 here. Let me write something hello here. Okay, So and also let me put the variable I so that you will get to know how it is working actually. If you close it down and if you right click and hold it, if I run 50, you can see it is starting, it is showing hello first, then starting from 1 and it is going up to 49. Okay, so now let's come back to the code and let's analyze it. So if you are analyzing the code, you can see I have given the command less than, so until it reaches 50, just before reaching 50 it will stop. Okay, so when you will be 50 it will stop the loop. Okay, but if you are giving a equal sign and if you compile and close it, now if you give 100 also, so it will display your name up to 100 times. Okay, so this is the for loop and this is how it works. Now if I am talking about, if I am writing another function, public static void multi or table, I am writing a function table where I'll take integer number from here in the parameter, and so that I have the number right now, so I'll write a for loop integer I equal to 1. So I'll start the I from 1. You can take any variable if you want, there is no particular thing that you have to take I only. So I'm starting it from 1, and when a will less than equals to 10, a plus plus. So what I want to do, I want to display a multiplication table of the number given by the user. So I'll write 10 multiplied by a. Okay, so since there is only one line, that's why I have not given any curly braces, but the choice is yours. You can still give a curly braces to create the block. Now if I'm closing this and if I'm just trying running this table, if I'm running 5, it will give you the multiplication table, the result of 5. But I don't want to put like this, but I want to put like a real multiplication table. So I'll just modify something here while I'm just displaying them. So I'll write number 1, sorry, plus 1 multiplication sign plus a plus 1 equal sign, then I'll put the thing here. Okay, so now if I'm closing it and if I'm trying to run it, so I forgot the table of 13. So if I'm just trying to run it, so it is now showing the multiplication table of 13. Okay, so I think it's pretty cool for you because this way very easily I can generate the multiplication table, and here only it is showing up to 10, but if you want to increase it, you just increase it here, you just increase the value of the condition. Now I have given 100, so any number, maybe it is 4, so no problem at all, it will give you the multiplication table here. Okay, so I think it is a very cool thing for you. And now I'll show you, similarly we have like a for loop, we have the while loop also, which is also working same. I'll try to make the table using the while loop. Okay, so okay, no problem. So public static, let me make the program very simple first, then I'll go for some complex programming too. So I'm writing table 2, and where I'll take the number again, and here instead of for loop I'll try to use the while loop. So while, so I need a control variable integer a equal to 1. Here I'll write while a is greater than 10 or a is less than equals to 10. Okay, then what I'll write here? I'll write here the same line, and also I'll write here a plus plus because I have to increase the a. Okay, so if I'm closing it and if I want to run the table 2, you give the number, it will show you the same. So whatever you can achieve with for loop, you can do the same with the while loop. Okay, One more interesting program I'm going to show you, which is the sum of the digits of a number. So if user is entering, if the input is 1 2 3, the output will be it will be 7, right? Because 2 plus, sorry 6, because 2 plus 3 it will be 5, 5 plus 1 it will be 6. Okay, so I'm going to do the same. So I'm writing public static void sum, and here I'll write integer number. So I'm taking a number and I'll do a sum. So let me take a variable sum equal to 0 first, and here I'll write a while loop. While number is greater than 0, integer digit equal to number mod 10. So if you are running this statement, any number mod by 10, you will get the last digit. Okay, so I'm getting the digit. Now what I'll do, I'll write sum plus equals to, that means sum equal sum plus digit. So I have the digit right now, and end of the closing this, just before the closing of while loop, I'll just try to decrease the number divided by 10. Okay, so at the end of the while loop, what we can do, system.out.println, I can write the sum. So when I'll close it and when I'll try to run it, the sum program, if I give 1 to 3, it will display the 6, and if I'm giving suppose sum 52, it will also give 7. So my program, whatever the number it is, it doesn't matter. Maybe it is a very big number, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. If you hit enter, it will give what is the exact sum of all the digits present there. Okay, so it doesn't matter, or you don't have to count it, just because I have used the while loop here. So loop, it is checking one by one and it is doing its job. Okay, so this is the while loop and for loop. Now I'll show you how to write the do while loop. It is very similar, but after only writing the do while loop, I'll show you what is the difference between this entry control loop and exit control loop. Okay, so now let's see an example of do while loop. So I'm writing a program SFS. It's a very simple thing where I'll display from 1 to 10. So I'll write do something. So what I'll write here, so let me take a variable here, integer n equal to 1. Okay, so here I'll write simply the system.out.println n. So number I will already display, and I'll write while n is greater than 1. Then after writing do while, at the end of the while you must give an terminator. So if you close it, if you run the program, you can see the SFS program is showing only 1. Okay, if you hit 10 also, it doesn't matter, it will show you 10 and it will stop. Okay, I think it's a never-ending program. It's became a infinity loop. Do you know why? I'm showing you why. Sorry for that. You can see here what mistake I made. I have written here n is 10, and I have given the condition where when n will be greater than 10, sorry 1. So 10 is greater than 1. It is always, that's why it's became an infinity loop. So what if I give it is 0? So 0 is not greater than 1. The condition is wrong here, but still if you run this one, it will show you, here it is. Sorry, let me close this one, then I will show you. So you can see at least it is showing 0, the value of n. So now let's see what is the difference between this entry control loop and exit control loop. Entry control loops are such loop where it is checking the condition first. If the condition is satisfied, that means if the condition is true, then only it will run the loop. If the condition is false, it will never run the loop. Okay, and if we are talking about the exit control loop, it doesn't matter whether the condition is right or wrong, it will run at least one. So we have seen in our last example, we have given the value of n, it is the 0, but the condition we have given that when n will be greater than 1. So at first it is just displaying 0, and when it is coming here it is checking, oh my god, 0 is not greater than 1, then immediately it stops the loop. But it is still running only one time. But if the same thing we are putting it for a for loop or a while loop, it will never run. So let's see an example. Public static void, here I will write sfs2. So here I will show you the same thing, integer n equal to 0 while n is greater than 1. Sorry, I'll write the same line of code. So you can see all the conditions and values here. Also it was n equal to 0, and then we have given with the printing statement, then given the condition is greater than 1. Here also it is pretty similar. Now if I am trying to run the sfs2, it will never display you something because it knows that the condition is false. So while it will never run, that's why it is not showing you any kind of display. But if you are running the same condition with the sfs, it will display at least 0 one time. So this is the difference between entry control loop and the exit control loop. Okay, so now we will talk about the variations in looping statements, and the most important thing is the jump statement. So let me talk about the jump statement first, then we will come back to the variations in a looping statement. Okay, so now I'll show you the variations in the looping statements and various jump statements and their use. So let's create the tutor part 2, or maybe let's put it various, or like something different. Let me put different diff. It's not looking pretty, it's not looking cool, so I'll just change the program name. Public class program, I don't know whether I have the class or not. Okay, no, it's going fine, no problem at all. So now I'll just create public static void main. So here I'll show you how to write various things. So let me write a loop integer I equal to 1, I less than equal to 10, I plus plus. So this program will display system.out.println. So I have written a very basic looping program where it will only display from 1 to 10. If you run this program main, so you can see it is only displaying 1 to 10. Now what are the thing, we can omit some statement from here. So if we want to, we can omit it from here and we can write it here, no problem at all. But you have to give this one. So if I'm just trying to run this program, you can see it is showing the same. Now secondly here, if I want to remove this also, I can remove. If I want to put it here, I can give it, no problem at all. So now also you can see it is still showing 1 to 10. Okay, so these are the various ways. Also, if you don't want to write it, if you don't want to write something inside the body, you can write it. It will become a bodiless loop. It will not display anything, but you can see here it is still running here. Okay, so I'm stopping it, and let's come back here. Also I want to say, if you don't want to write it here, you can write like this, but what will happen, it will be infinite loop. So let's see here, I'm just trying to run it here, so you can see it is just showing, it is just running and running and running, it is not stopping here. So it's became an infinite loop. So let's come back to the Java JVM and reset the JVM so that we can stop the unwanted program. And let's come back again so that you can see I can keep this 3 parameter empty, and on that time it will be an infinite loop. And if I want to put the condition, I can definitely put the conditions, and the first two things we can remove. Also we can remove the body so that it will be a bodiless loop. So these are the ways, okay, these are the separate ways to write the this looping statements. Okay, now I will show you the various jump statements and their use. You have 3 jump statements in your syllabus. Now for class 9, only 2 you have. Okay, it is the break and continue. There is one more jump statement which is known as return, but when in your class 10 it will be discussed. Now I'll show you the use of this break and continue statement. So let's write another class jump, and let's write the code here, public class jump. So jump statement is basically from jumping out of the loop, but we can use them for separate purpose. So for loop inside I similarly I'll write the same thing, I less than equal to 100 I plus plus. So I have a loop, I'm just trying to I'm just starting a loop from 0 and it will go up to 100, and I'll just writing ns, that means number to be searched. So if I write if ns equal to y, that means if what number I just want, if I'm getting it, I can write the break. So if I'm writing the break, so PRIDLN. So at the after this loop I'm just writing thanks. Okay, and inside the inside this program, what I'll write I. So now if I'm writing 80, what it will do, it is here, don't worry. What it will do, you can see from 0 to 79 it is displaying, then it is just stopping the loop and it is saying thanks. That's just because inside of this loop it is checking whether this 80 is equal to this I. So when the loop will reach to 80, it will immediately stop the loop by using this break command, and it will come out from this block. So it is, that's why after 79 it is showing thanks. Similarly, if we are talking about the continuous statement, public static void con, here also if I am taking the same, but continue is little bit different. It's not like the break actually stops the whole loop, but continue don't stop the loop, it will continue, but what are the code you have written after the continue statement, it will not display. So what I'll do, I'll try to copy the same from here, but instead of break I'll write here CUNTI anyway continue. Okay, so now let's see, and let me put it up to 10 so that it will be easier for us. So it will run from 0 to 10, and whatever number, if I am entering any number between this 1 to 10, it will not display this number. So now let's close and run it. So this continuous, maybe I'm writing 5. If you are writing, you can see it is showing 0 1 2 3 4, but it is not displaying 5. It is again, it is showing 6 7 8 9 10, then thanks. So what is the difference between break and continue? Break actually stops the complete loop, but when I am using the continue, when it is here, suppose I have written 5, so ns was 5, so when I became 5, it is just ignoring this line, and again it is starting the loop. That means from it is just coming here. So that's why again it is displaying 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but it will not display it. Okay, so I think you got my point. What is the difference between break and continue? Thank you so much.